instinct, which team do you think might win? You don't have a way to get a right answer, just saying. You're guessing. There's not a wrong answer here. What's your instinct on it? We've got a table, we've got an equation, and we've got a graph. Any thoughts? Equation because they math the hardest. Graph because it's a pretty picture. Like, those are valid answers right now. We don't have the information to do anything else. It could absolutely be group B because how the heck did they get an equation? Holy cow, they mathed so hard. Could be the table because, wow, they went up to 101 feet. That's really high for an egg to go. Definitely it's higher than this one did down here on the graph because I can see how high it went. It went almost to 90. This one definitely flew higher than this one. Don't know about this one, but odds are good. It lowers my odds down to 50-50. Somebody's music's so loud I hear it right here. Thanks. You still hear it. Super rude to have your music on loud enough that I can hear it up here. It means it's not only distracting you, it's distracting those around you. Because if it's loud enough that I can hear it, I guarantee your neighbors can hear it. Rude. Okay. So what you're going to do next is we are going to take the data that they gave us, which is this data up here, and we're going to put it all on the graph on the bottom of the next page, page 74. They have a lot more words on your page than I have on my screen, but it's basically getting you down to the same things. Team A, they gave you a table, which is this table here. You're going to plot the points. I recommend, and I'll grab the colored pencil box out, doing A, B, and C in different colors. So I'll go grab the colored pencils. But this is what we're going to do. So for Team A, they give you the values. For Team B, they give you an equation, which we can use by picking some numbers and finding some values. Team C, which I will switch back over to the other page so you can see it, they give you a graph. So in order to put it on the back page graph, I would just pick a few points and copy it over. Okay, so I want you to try and graph all 3 teams. Okay, colored pencils are out. I recommend picking one color for each team. And I want you guys to do this. So Team A, they give you the data. Team B, you have to find the data. Team C, you've got to read that graph. So do that. I'll put it back over here so you can see the Team C graph. I know it is tiny up here. Work with somebody. Work with somebody. And you can do that. That way you can copy the graph over from their page onto your page, and then they can copy yours from theirs to theirs. Okay? Work together. ahead, Amber. We're talking about it, y'all. Especially for the parts team, it's a lot easier if you have somebody there with you. Or for the team seat.
Would there be some numbers that would be easier to grab than others on this particular paper?
Yeah, I just did that, yeah.
Yeah. So what if we pick for our X's? Boom, yep. Yeah, that'll be easier than necessarily trying to just randomly pick.
And I substitute
Mm-hmm.
easier for A.
Yes. Yes. And I've got a whole bunch of calculators back there. I recommend it. Because honestly, our phones are good at many things. Quadratics is not one of them.
Yeah, between the answers on the left.
Oh.
Oh, my, you were trying to get mad at me.
It's there. You're still welcome to think about it, but the answer is up. I put it up last Wednesday.
I have a meeting in my council about the minutes, so they have to transfer. Yeah, I will fix it. I will fix
Like, I remember to bring my other tissues. I've never had tissue back.
You never know.
I love those pens so much. Those are my favorite pens.
See?
Thank you, gels. Those are the best. Before I do the Sharpie or the Flip? Mm-hmm. I'm not quite, I don't like the Flip as much. I like the rollable. Yeah. Uh-huh. The fluorescent one of that pink is good. The bright one, my favorite green pen. It's a little less intense than red, but it's still bright. I like being bright. And I mean, it's me, it's me. You have a pink going off on it. The purple's good too. That's my go-to, like, make a notes pen. And the teal. I like them all. The only one I don't like is the brown. And the yellow is the highlighter pen. Yeah. It's basic. It's too basic. The dark blue is pretty blue though. So I'm cool with the dark blue, even though that's also basic.
Our Christmas gift is
Alright, so put on page 74 your data.
That was, I was doing so much as one we can, you make it. We made us do a graph.
let's go ahead and start talking through this a little bit. So, I graph Team A. Team A is just plot the points, connect them up. Team C is copy the points from the other side and connect them up. So, there we go. Okay, so those two don't take a whole lot of calculation. Those ones we should just be able to kind of like plot points. All right? Team B, that one took more mathing. So let's go through that one. How did you guys pick X values for what to plug in? There's not wrong answers here. You can pick any way you want. There's not wrong answers. How? What's wrong?
I got it wrong.
How? No, that's, you just pick different points.
Oh,
There's not, like, as long as you read it from the graph,
yeah.
there's quite literally an infinite number of places you can pick. These are just the ones I picked. You were probably fine.
Oh. I'll still do yours.
I was gonna say, I'm guessing. Cause yeah, yours could have been right at 1560. At mine, I thought it looked like it crossed a little bit higher. That's the only reason I put 65 and you put 60. It's a guess. You're fine. Have faith in yourself. You did fine. I guessed looking at these pictures. Your numbers might not exactly match mine. You could have, for 15, you could have anything between 60 and 70. Now, don't tell me it's 82. But anything between 60 and 70, go look at that line. It was chunky style. It was like taking this marker and trying to draw a line. I can't really tell where it's crossing because this is a chunky beast. We're estimating, and that's okay. Our numbers don't have to match exactly. So let's look at Team B. This one, the numbers we get will probably be very, very similar. Our graphs might be slightly different, but our numbers will be similar. How did you pick X values to try? Hello, dear. Who's it for? I got it. I don't mind. Either one of us. It's for you. It's a guidance. Yeah. How'd you guys pick X values? How'd you get to Team B? How'd you graph Team B? Or we just, wait and hope I did it before you guys got to it? Substitute. What'd you pick to substitute in? Say it louder because I can't hear you over the heater. What'd we substitute? Because you're right. It is absolutely, we're going to substitute stuff. What should we substitute? There, 10 is fine. You can absolutely do that. There's not wrong answers here. I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might not help me the most. Because we see how far these things are going. Easiest option probably to take the numbers on my x-axis and plug those in, because then I know for sure it's going to be on that line and I'm not going to have to guess mid-box somewhere. But there's not wrong answers. If you want to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, fine. If you want to do 1 through 30, bless your heart. That's a lot of plugging in. You can do that though. I think the easiest option is to go with our x-axis values. So what we're gonna do is you can start at 0 if you want to. I'm gonna start at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, blobbity, 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 blobbity. What are we doing with those values? What do we do with these? Substitute them in. Y'all, type them in a calculator. Let's see if I can get my calculator to work. Nope, that is not a calculator. All right, So type them into the calculator. I have literally 30 of these. You can use a calculator. I have enough for everybody to have at least one. Type them in. Just be careful. Negative 0.8 times the quantity, 3 squared, plus 19 times 3 minus 40. You should get 9.8 for 3. So when x is 3, y is 9.8. So somewhere around there. Almost 10. You can round it to 10 if you want to. Because, you know, scale. We're going to do the same thing across and across and across. We're going to substitute in 6. And we get 45.2. Turn around to 45 because our scale is not good enough for decimals. Up here. Type them into a calculator and get values. Okay? Take another couple minutes and do that. Fill it in. Go grab a calculator if you need to. I have plenty. And they can do the squaring. Like, they can do the whole thing. Just type in the equation as it is and substitute in a value. Yellow bin's right behind Hogwarts back there. Type them in. Practice doing it. Make sure you get the square. Go back and hit 3 and 6 to make sure you get the right answers. If it's been a hot minute since we did something in the calculator like this. Biashki. Good morning. She will be shortly. Sorry, 100% forgot. Bye. All right, give me a second.
Alexia, you got brother in here.
As soon as I started reading, I knew instantly what I'd forgotten. 111. All right, we are almost done with what we're going to talk about today. Promise. All right, so I got my Team B graphed, and I kind of thickened up the lines so we could see them. So team B, that's my purple one. I filled in all the table values for all of the X values that are relevant. And yes, my pictures are, I'm such a beautiful artiste. They are wobbly as all get out, like I was tightrope walking while I drew it. That's okay, close enough. Ish, this is not art. Y'all just wait till we get to the fish problem when I have to actually draw fish. Woo! I'm not known for my art skills. That is not my strong suit. Okay, but so this is our data. So now we have all three teams with data. I have tables for all three and I have a graph for all three. So now we can look at them and see who wins. Who do you think wins? A, B, or C? Why A? Because they go, yeah, because they go the highest. What if we weren't looking for height? What if we were looking for something else? Who wins for landing the furthest? Yeah, C. C went farther. They're out here. Who flew the furthest? Who has the... B does. They started farther back than anybody else. Yeah, 12 blue landed farther, but they started at around 11. Like they took like a running head start and like. So even if we have all this information, it doesn't necessarily mean we know who wins. We don't know what the criteria is for winning. All we know is what the bucket gets to judge. I don't know if she's going for height, she's going for distance, or she's just going for who's farthest. Okay? So a lot of information does not an answer make. Got to logic your way through it. We can look at it on the tables. We can look at it on the pictures. We can look at it as equations. I could go through and write equations for these eventually. We're not gonna, but we could. Okay, so 9, 10, and 11, we seriously just talked through. Who flew the furthest? Who went the highest? Who flew the farthest? Okay. So we can find answers to some of these things just by looking at the picture. The picture on 75, we're not going to do anything with. I'm over that problem. I've tried really a lot of times to make that part of the problem work, but it's just obnoxious. Okay, so on page 74, oh, that's not page 74. Where is this? I wanted to start looking through these and writing down these forms because honestly, we're going to take a ton of time with these today. Where was I intending you to write these? Okay, put them on page 75 below the picture of the graph because I don't know where I intended you to write it, but page 74 is full. You have done these before. You have. This is an Algebra 2 thing. We spent like 2 chapters dealing with quadratics. Where is my stylus? My stylus also ran away. There we go. I'll grab one of these. So I'm going to switch this out for 75. Standard form of a quadratic. That's our ax squared plus bx plus c. A, b, and c are numbers. We've got our factored form where we have our x minus our roots or our zeros or our x-intercepts. Those are all the same thing. And then our vertex form, a times x minus h squared plus k, where it straight up spits out our vertex. We're going to start working with these more and more. We're going to have them a bunch. I wanted you to get the opportunity to have them written down as their factor, like as their rule form, because the text here kind of expects you to remember it from Algebra 2, which nobody remembers these from Algebra 2, just saying. They're familiar, absolutely they're familiar, but if I asked you to spit out vertex form of a parabola, I bet you couldn't have. And that's okay, because realistically, that's not something we need to be able to regurgitate in real life. We don't have to, I have never in my entire life, aside from being here, needed to go, the vertex form of a parabola is blah, 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 and spit it out. Like real life, I don't have to be able to spit it out. So having it there, writing it down will be very, very helpful. I will try and find my poster and put it back up of our forms. It's in one of my cabinets. But we're going to use these bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches over Unit 6. We're going to use all three of them, and we're going to take equations from all three types of forms and put them into all the other forms. And we're going to play with these equations like Play-Doh. Okay? That is actually all we're going to do today. I just wanted you guys to have time to write these down when we weren't doing a zillion other things. And there's no homework tonight, so there's no homework over the weekend. Please make sure you did something yesterday. If you didn't do the Desmos activity, please go do it. Please. All right, it's easy points. I'm sitting there waiting for you. Do stuff. I'm going to leave these forms up. Like, the announcements is just the topic test is on the 22nd, not the 23rd. But it's coming. It's the quiz. Next Friday is the end of quarter 3. Just so that you're aware, if we're trying to get grades up a little bit higher, if we have any missing projects or tests or anything, before next Friday would be a great idea.